And we're live. Hey everyone, how are y'all doing? I am Maddie from Top Rope Squishy, in case you don't already know. And my guest with me, who is pretty much part of the Top Rope Squishy podcast at this point, is Lou from the Bronx. Hey Lou, say
Yo.
hello and tell people your exciting news that you were telling me when we were offline.
Oh, what's up, everybody? So, of course, Lou from the BX, host of the Everything podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash Boy #2. Um, I go by all kind of names: Louis Schmurda, the Loose Canada Podcasting, Dominican Lou, Louis Balboa. Um,
Louis Balboa.
we've got the names go on and on and on. But we were just talking, and I got an email on, I think it was Tuesday, from Ticketmaster that said AEW tickets are on sale in your area. So I was like, oh shit. And I thought maybe it was like the because they're doing live shows now. They're doing like house
Yeah.
shows. So I was like, oh shit, maybe it's one of the house shows. And when I went to go look at it, it was actually Dynamite Rampage. So I was like, oh my God. So I went to go, it said Sunrise, which is in the area where I live. And I was like, damn, but where is this place? So I went to go look for the arena. It says FLA Arena. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell is that? I never even heard of it. When I looked it up, dude, 9 minutes from the house. 9
You can't
minutes from my
you
house.
can't beat that.
What a blessing, bro. Like, it's literally right there. Get on the turnpike, make a right, make a left, and I'm there. So I'm going on April 26th to Dynamite Rampage. I don't know. I gotta look up like all the details and see like how close or far it is from another pay-per-view or whatever. But I am very excited. Much success.
Yes, that's excellent. I've only
Super
been
happy.
once. I do hope to return, but oh snap, who's having a party?
Let's get started. The
But
Crown
yeah,
Royal
I'm
bottle is
hoping to
almost empty.
return. What's that?
The Crown Royal bottle is almost empty. This is the Top Rope Squishy Crown Royal bottle, by the way.
Oh shit.
I
Hey.
usually only have this when I do this show. So
And
Crown
look, it's
Royal
almost
Sprite
empty. So that should
is the
let you
beverage
know.
of choice.
Yo, I wish I could drink, but I don't. I would have a sip right now. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I've only been to one show. It was a great experience. Have you been?
So I was supposed to go. So I'm generally these shows come to Miami, which I am about, and let's say an hour from Miami. Now I was supposed to. I bought tickets to go see the show that was in Miami. That show was the debut of Malachi Black when he showed up and he kicked Arn Anderson and then
From
Cody or
Cody.
whatever. That was the show that I was supposed to go to. But of course, when it got closer to the time, I was like, bro, I do want to go, but I know what it's like in downtown Miami, bro. Do I want to go drive an hour down there and deal with all those fucking people and all that traffic and the parking? And then I get out of there at 1:30. To get out of there is a mission, bro. And then I got to
Yeah,
drive an hour back home at 1:30.
tired.
I was like, you know what, bro?
Nah.
My peace of mind takes over at that point, and I'm like, fuck it. I sold them on. I actually made some money on them, not much, but I ended up selling the tickets on Ticketmaster
And made
and
a
sold them.
profit.
So
And
yeah, I
that's
made like $50, but
hey,
whatever.
you didn't lose
Listen,
money.
there's something to be said about watching these shows at home in
Yes.
your nice, comfortable couch or your chair or your bed, even sometimes if you want to lay down and watch it,
Yeah.
and your big screen TV and your
Yeah.
drink or smoke of choice. It's peace of mind is underrated. So
Yeah. And when the show's over, you're home.
I go like this
Yeah, see.
and go to bed.
All right. Well, last night's Dynamite, which I didn't think was one of their top dynamites from the last 3 weeks, actually finally again broke the 1 million plus viewership.
Absolutely.
And I was shocked because I was like, I don't know if it's because I was really, I was a little out of it last night and I was like in and out watching it. And but what I did, the things I did see, I was like, this show is decent, but this is not going to be the show that breaks them back into the million viewership. So when I saw this, I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
I actually gave it a 5 yesterday's
Oh, really?
Dynamite.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll say why when we go through it. But what did you rate it?
So it's funny. I when I saw the card, because I saw the card, I think Monday they showed the little updated graphic,
Yeah.
and I was like looking at it, and I'm like, MJF promo, Moxley, Evil Uno,
Yeah, that was a little
uh,
bit.
tag team battle royal. Anytime you get a tag team battle royal, you know the show is fucking filler.
It's gonna
And
be
I'm
a
looking at
mess.
the card and I'm like, damn, this looks like super mid, but whatever. It's Dynamite. I'm gonna watch it. And
Right.
I was actually surprised at how much I enjoyed the show.
Well, I'm glad
I
you
really
did.
enjoyed the main event.
Oh,
The
good.
We'll talk about the battle royal, whatever. The only issue I have is with Tony Khan and this women's division. When we get to that,
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm gonna rip him a new asshole. But
Yeah, we're gonna get right to it.
I actually enjoyed the show more than I thought I was going to because I thought it was gonna suck. And at the end, I was like, that was actually a pretty good show.
I'm the other way around. I thought it was gonna be a great show, and I think it was mid.
I give it
But
like a
okay.
6.5, maybe 7.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a pretty low rating compared to the like sevens, eights, nines that they've been getting from me from the past few weeks.
Right,
But you're not gonna like every single show. They're gonna be shows that are not gonna meet expectations.
right.
Tony Khan needs to stop talking about
Mhm.
big surprises and big announcements because he makes people think that something truly spectacular is coming, like a wrestler or something, and then he
Right.
goes and says, "Hey, we're getting a 1 hour TV reality show called what's it called?
All
AEW
access.
All Access, and it'll
Yeah.
be airing after Dynamite on Wednesdays, and it's an hour. So you're gonna kind of get 3 hours of Dynamite, but there's
Right.
no wrestling in the All Access. I mean, you might see some wrestling because it's like the back end stuff. It's the backstage stuff. It's the stuff that the wrestlers go through when they're training and when they're having hardships, and it's
Right.
reality TV
You want to
basically.
talk about that now, or you want to talk about it when it comes up in the gist of talking about the show?
We could cover this now, and then we'll start
Okay.
with our
So
match.
for me, actually, real quick, and I hate to throw the flow of the show off. I wanted to ask you because I didn't see your reactions. Did you happen to get a chance to watch Battle of the Valley? You didn't watch it. Damn
Not
it. I was
yet,
hoping you
not
did.
yet. But I
Okay.
know who won. Like you would not.
Right.
It's not gonna. You're not gonna ruin it
No,
for
I
me. I
want
know
you to
that.
see. I want you to see the match because it goes into the women's thing too. So, okay.
Yeah, I
Well,
saw clips, and the clips I saw were fucking ridiculous. Like
well,
what
that
those
was
two
women's match of the
women.
year so far.
See, now I have to watch it. It's on
That was
Fight
women's
TV.
match of
I
the year.
gotta watch it. I haven't had a chance. I am gonna catch it this weekend.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
a lot of
way I'm
content.
missing it. Yeah,
There's
there's
way
no
too
way
much
I'm not.
content, man. It's a lot.
And I heard that there were a lot of other great matches too. Like it
That
wasn't
show
just
was great.
a
It
match.
was
Yeah,
a
and
great show.
I was looking forward to it, but like when it happened, the next day I was like, oh shit, that was yesterday. Like that was
Yeah,
one of the things I had and whatnot. But
yeah. Because I was watching Elimination Chamber and it came on at 10, so I was like, it's gonna overlap the other show I'm watching. But then they had some
mm,
technical difficulties, so they started like half an hour after 10.
okay.
Um, but just real quick for anybody who hasn't watched it, um, Jay White and Eddie Kingston was
I heard.
tremendous.
I
Kaidi
heard.
and Mercedes Monet was women's match of the year, and it's not even close. And obviously that says a lot about the other women's matches we've been having.
Yep.
Um, because I rewatched this. The Zack Sabre Jr. match was phenomenal. Kenta
Ooh.
Kenta's match was phenomenal, and Homicide and Filthy Tom Lawler. They had a match where they removed the ring ropes, so they just had a. It was that match was fucking bananas. It was what a great show, man. I'm so because we just started like on our show. We just kind of started getting into New Japan, um,
Mhm.
because we're kind of like trying to broaden our wrestling horizons and shit.
Which is
And
good.
I tried watching some GCW. It's unfortunately it's not for me.
Hmm.
Um, I'm really trying to get into it, but I just can't seem to. But New
Hmm.
Japan is
Something else, yeah.
man, the wrestling is so good. So if you love just watching wrestling, which I know you do,
I love it.
it's definitely worth putting in the time. So I know you're busy
Yeah.
and all that. If you just get a chance to watch it, I'd love to
Oh,
hear
I
your thoughts on it.
next time we speak, I will definitely have seen it by then.
Cool.
I'm sad that I didn't get to catch it when it happened, but it's still there for me to
Yeah,
watch. So
yeah. It's not going anywhere.
I'm
But
gonna watch it.
as far as AEW All Access, one of the things that I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm super excited about this show because I don't even know what it's gonna be yet, if it's gonna actually be reality or they're actually going to show you real stuff.
Yep.
My one of the things that I've been so very curious about in wrestling is the inner workings of like the business itself. Like I want to know how these guys sit there and plot a match out with each other.
Hmm.
I want to see how what happens from when they come out of their locker room to when they go like right behind the curtain. Like I want to see all the intricacies of those kind of things. Like those are things about wrestling that I've always been curious about, and those are
Yeah.
some of the things that they keep secret because
Yeah.
obviously, you know, there's a lot involved in wrestling. There's a lot of stuff you don't want the general public seeing and stuff.
Hmm.
So I'm curious if Tony's actually going to show that, or if this is
Yeah.
just gonna be like a reality show backstage. You know what I mean? Like kind of
Yeah.
like being the elite, but like a little more serious.
Yeah.
So
I would love to see that too, and the actual intricacies that go into creating the in-ring actual matchup. So like how do they come up with the moves? How do they
yeah,
know what's coming next? Like because a lot of times you hear these wrestlers say, "Oh, we just winged it. We knew what
hmm
the ending was going to be, but we winged it." How do you know what move is coming? Like when they go
yeah,
to pick you up, how do you know this is a butterfly suplex and not a like how
right,
do you know this is coming and you are in the right place in the ring? Like how, and that's something that I always am curious about because you're talking about some of these matches that go for 60 minutes, like the one we're going to get
right.
um between MJF and Bryan Danielson at Revolution is going to be an hour. You're telling me this whole hour is planned out? No.
Yeah, you
They
can't
have,
piece it out.
sorry, they have spots planned out.
Hmm.
And how do you figure out the filler in between the spots? You know, like,
Right.
so if things like that are covered, then I'm all for it. But if it's
Yeah.
just backstage drama,
If
like
it's gonna be like Roads to the Top, where it's they're showing like
drama,
drama, and then you see some people walking around backstage, like I'm not interested in that.
keep it,
I'm
keep
not
it. I
interested
don't
in that.
like that shit. But that's how I feel about the all access. So if it's, I agree with you. So if it's some of that, give it to me. But if it's just that,
Yeah,
like that fake fight they had between Velvet
yeah,
and
and
you
Jade,
know that
yeah,
shit
that
was
was
fake.
that's what I think it's. Unfortunately, that's what I think is going to be mostly things like that. Like I think we're gonna see that whatever happened with Eddie and Sammy, I think we're gonna see that
Some of it.
like on this show at some point. They'll show
Mm,
it either in a flashback or they'll revisit it, and that's like kind of stuff like I don't want to see a reality show based on
yeah,
this.
on
The
that
reason
drama.
why, if Tony were to actually do what we're saying, which is to show the actual inside of the business, bro, people like Jim Cornette and Bischoff and all, they're gonna lose their fucking minds if he starts giving away secrets of the business, which I'm not exactly don't want him to do. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want him giving away all the secrets of the business either.
Not all the
I
secrets.
just want to know them. Like, I would
Yeah.
love to go back there one day and just kind of see everything, and I just want to know it. I'm not gonna come on my show and be like, okay, so this is how they do that. No, I'm not doing that, bro. I love wrestling. I enjoy it, so I'm not trying to destroy it,
Right.
but I do
It's
want
like
to
a magic
know.
trick. You really
Yeah, I
don't
want to
want to
know.
know how it's done, but you kind of want
Right,
to know how it's planned out.
right.
All right. All Atlantic match. That's what it started with. Former best friends Wheeler Yuta went up against Orange Cassidy. I thought they were going to start with the Battle Royale. So I was actually in the kitchen when this match started.
Oh wow, okay.
But I did see it again today. Like I did catch this match again today, and it was pretty freaking good. Like I was, you know, Orange Cassidy kept trying to befriend Yuta, but Yuta wasn't having it. Orange Cassidy retained, so he's still the All Atlantic champion, which
Right,
I thought was the right move. And Claudio Castagnoli, when Orange Cassidy was trying to give Wheeler Yuta a hug at the end, he was like telling Yuta, like, get your ass over here.
right.
So, what'd you think about that match?
He was like daddy, zaddy, if you will.
Zaddy.
Uh, yeah, it was great. This was definitely, I think this is Orange Cassidy's best match that he's had on TV,
Yeah,
uh,
it's pretty good.
by far. It's probably, I would probably say it's his second best match ever that I've seen. What's up, Kyle? Um, Besides obviously him and Osprey at Forbidden Door, but the people who say that Orange Cassidy can't wrestle bug me out, bro. They just, you can tell these are people who don't watch the show. Like, they don't watch, because how can you sit here and say that that dude can't wrestle, or he's a gimmick, or he's whatever? He might have that gimmick, but
That's
come
his
on, bro.
gimmick. He's
When
had
it's
that
time
gimmick.
to go,
Yeah.
it's time to go, bro.
Yeah,
And that dude is one
he's
of
a
the
work,
best
he's a
wrestlers out
workhorse.
there.
He's a workhorse. He has defended that belt so many times
So I
already.
think that was 19 yesterday, 19 in a row, defenses in a row.
I think he was the right person to give the belt to. He's been doing phenomenal things with it. The audience loves it. The fans love it. And Orange Cassidy is one of the top merch sellers, in case anybody didn't know. And this gimmick of his, he's had it since the Indies.
Yeah.
This guy's been wrestling for a long time. Go check out Orange Cassidy in the Indies. You guys would. He's wrestled even Chris Statlander. They
I
had
hate his music.
say
I
what?
hate it. I hate his music. I hate
Yeah,
it.
well, I don't like his music
And I
either, but
really wish he would go back to where's my mind, because I feel like that is more in tune to his like AW character than
maybe
that fucking Starship song. That shit's
they'll probably change it when he loses the title.
that's so.
They might give him something different. But
Yeah, they should go back to the old song, bro. That Pixie
yeah,
song is much better for him.
yeah, I think. But song aside, great match,
Great match.
great freaking match, great opener. One of the better matches of the night, probably my favorite of the night. So
Yeah.
yeah, seriously. So then we had a little promo, a couple of promos. So Evo Uno came out and he was with, I think, Renee and Hangman Adam Page. And he was like, look, don't fucking interfere in this match. You keep acting like we ain't as good as you. And that's why you don't want to, talk about our friendship out there. So he's like, keep your ass from the beginning to the end back here. And then Evo Uno proceeded to, at the end, in the main event, get bloody. But we'll get to that. But
Right.
that was a cute little promo. And you have any comments on the promo?
No, I just like seeing the side of Evil Uno. I've always come on the show and clowned on Dark Order.
Yes.
I think they're a bunch of goofs.
They're
I've
trying
always
to
thought
get
they were a
this.
bunch of goofs. And they've dwindled in their numbers
They're down
over
to
the past year or so. Yeah, they're
three.
down. It seems like they're down to only 3, but
And -1, so that's like 3.5.
3.5. But it was cool to see that. It was cool to see him like try to, step up and try to change things and take things a little more seriously. So that was cool for me to see it.
Yeah. So Terrell says that he believes Orange Cassidy might be one of the 3 wrestlers who might end MJF's reign. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that. That's actually not a bad thought process. If Bryan Danielson doesn't take it at Revolution, which I'm not 100% sure he will. I can see Darby Allin getting the main belt at some point. And after Orange Cassidy's amazing run as an All-Atlantic champion, I don't see why he can't go for another belt, because he's clearly championship material. He's a jokester, but when he gets in the ring, like, his character is his character. Boom. That's it.
Right.
Okay. He's always going to be a mellow guy, but you see when he gets pissed off, you get elevated Cassidy. And I honestly have enjoyed pretty much every Orange Cassidy match.
Terrell, when you say The Rock, you mean like the Rocky Starks, or are you talking about someone else?
Are you talking about Dwayne Johnson?
You're talking about Dwayne Johnson. Let me tell you something.
He ain't never going to AEW.
You are never going to see Dwayne Johnson in an AEW ring
ever.
If they can't pay him, if WWE's throwing millions and millions of dollars at him and he's still not showing up, he's not showing up for Tony Khan. It's just not going to happen.
His whole family works in WWE.
And there's another thing about that. Dwayne Johnson is huge. So if you stand him next to some of these AEW guys, it's going to look like...
I mean, we got big guys in AEW, but he's not going to AEW. If that man's ever going to return to wrestling, ever, even if it's just for a few matches, is going to be back to WWE. So,
yeah.
Ricky Starks had an amazing promo with Jericho.
Oh, yeah. My
favorite part, the pen click. The whole crowd went wild when he clicked the pen.
Yeah,
Who would have thought a pen click can get the crowd over like that?
and Jericho.
What
That
can't
was one of
Jericho
like
do?
Jericho has so many good runs with different gimmicks, man. And
So
that
good.
whole you made the list shit with Kevin
Yes.
Owens, that show was tremendous. That was just that was cool to see that he did that.
That was my favorite, like Ricky Starks and Jericho interaction. They've had quite a few, but this one was my favorite because it was just them. And you can tell that Ricky Starks was baiting him and he ate it. He took it. He took
Yeah.
the bait. And as soon as he turned around, Ricky Starks was like, and I was like, oh shit. See, and that's something that I can appreciate. Like, I'm like, that is what I want to see. This is
Yeah.
acting, right? Like, that was so much fun to watch that promo. And usually I'm like, one promo too many. Like, come on.
Right. Yeah.
That was how it's done. You have two guys who are gold on mics. Their
As long as you
persona.
have Ricky going over at the pay-per-view, I'm happy.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Because it's about time. It's time. It's time for Ricky Starks to get a belt too. Like, it's been a while.
Speaking of the pay-per-view, what do you think of this card?
The Revolution card?
Yeah, there's 6 matches right now so far for it.
I'm not happy with the women's match.
I'm definitely not, and we'll get
I
more
am
into that
not
in a bit.
happy. We're going
But
to get to that. When we get to the women's match that happened, which is the third match, so we're almost there. I'm going to let y'all know exactly how I feel about that because
yeah, we're gonna do that.
Anyway, the Acclaimed versus the Firm, and the Acclaimed win.
Right.
Obviously they were going to
As
win.
well
It
they
was
should have.
it was a decent match. What I enjoyed was watching Austin and Colton Gunn fucking up their dad on the side.
So it's like, really, bro? That's so
Stomp him
weird,
out.
bro.
They stomped him
Freaking
out.
beat his own dad's ass. Punched him in the
They,
back of the head. That's crazy.
they stomped their dad out. This is like the only time that kids can legitimately beat their parents' asses
Right.
and get away with.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Like, my sister was like, oh my God, how could they do that? I'm like, watch, they've been doing it. Kyle said, daddy issues for real.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. And then this was another one of my promos of the night. It was Christian Cage. He came out, he didn't even really get all the way out there. And who comes and spears his motherfucking ass from the other side? Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Yes, ma'am.
That was beautiful.
Good
He
for him.
He hesitated though to give him the crescendo, and Christian Cage low blowed him and beat his ass afterwards. But you know what? I'm excited to see their matchup now.
Yeah, they basically built up a pay-per-view match within like a 5-minute little thing, and that's one of those things Christian's very good at.
Yeah,
Christian is
he's a legend though.
Good wrestler. Actually, he's a pretty great wrestler.
Yeah,
but the mind for the business is one of the things that he's very sharp at, which is one of the things I wish Tony would use more of for the rest of his roster.
yes.
So you look at that. You build a pay-per-view match just like that.
Yeah, and I mean they've had their feud for a hot minute now, ever since Luchasaurus, left Jungle Express, Jurassic Express.
Jurassic.
I almost forgot the name Jurassic.
Well, actually, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, because Jurassic Express is Marco, Luchasaurus, and Jack Perry.
That's right, and Marco's
been gone forever.
Yeah, Marco was the first person to, and then they separated Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, and I think that's because they want to give Jungle Boy a solos run with a title, maybe
TNT title.
Yeah, I mean, and in case anybody forgot, it wasn't a very long run, but Jurassic Express actually held the tag titles at one point.
Yep.
And then Samoa Joe and Wardlow, the saga there continues. We're gonna see that at Revolution. That's one of the other matches. Yeah, I want to see it. I do, because I think that what happened with Wardlow was that he got injured, and so his TNT reign wasn't complete. It was like cut in half, and so he's getting that belt back, and I want to see it, and I want them to do something with it, like give him an actual feud with someone after Samoa Joe.
Yeah, have actual matches,
like
just squashes. You know what I mean?
Hobbs. Him and
Yeah.
Hobbs should pick it back up, and Hobbs should legit be the next TNT belt
Yeah.
holder.
Like the thing with that TNT title is like that title should be going on people who like, yeah, you want to have your titles on people who are over, but like, bro, Wardlow is super over. Like he don't need a title. You know what I mean? He don't
Yeah.
really need it. It's good to reward him
Okay.
and to have him in the title mix and the world title mix.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need a belt. You hit his
Mm-mm.
music, he comes out, he's ready to go. People just want to see Wardlow come out and powerbomb people. So,
It's
you
true.
know, people like
Powerbomb.
Miro, Hobbs, Jack Perry, who's also super over, but is deserved of having like some type of singles title run at this point because he's been working his ass off. You
Yeah.
know, they should really they have to bring the prestige back to that title.
Agreed.
And what
Agreed.
better way to do it than to put it on Hobbs?
Yes. Put that shit on Hobbs. I mean, you gotta conclude the book of Hobbs, this whole thing you were doing, like they started this whole thing with talking about Hobbs's backstory. And at the same time they're building up Hobbs, they're building up Ricky Starks.
That's what I'm
And
saying. Once you get it on Hobbs, the perfect person to take it off of him is Ricky. And
exactly.
you have that shit written right there. So
There you go. Tony Khan.
Tony,
Book it.
come on, Tony.
All right.
Book it.
Book it. So now we have the women's match.
Boo.
It was Sriracha versus Sky Blue. Now, let me say something about Sky Blue. Sky Blue, I met Sky Blue in 2021 when she was still wrestling for Mission Pro Wrestling. And she was totally green, like totally. But she could do her thing. You could see there's potential there. You could see there's a future there. Very young girl, very, very young. So she's just at the beginning of her career. So I wasn't expecting her to do some crazy ass, moves and some crazy ass things. Now, here's the thing. She was in the ring with somebody that's supposed to be a veteran. And to me, Sriracha keeps falling short. She is not doing it for me. She wasn't doing it from the beginning. I hate the way she comes out to everybody. I just don't like it. There's something about her that doesn't rub me right. And I don't like her style. I think she's super sloppy. I understand that she was injured and she was out for 5 years, but Jesus, I was just so unhappy with that match. Like there were bits and pieces that were good, and I had to give it up to Sky Blue because her being the greener wrestler, she had to keep up with Sriracha's slops.
Right.
And now we're getting Sriracha versus fucking Ruby NoHo versus Jamie Hayter. Like, why would you put those two with Jamie? So I can't. I'm not looking forward to it.
Look, I didn't so much have an issue with the match itself. I thought the match was fine. I was actually pleasantly surprised that she wasn't horrific in the ring, seeing as how she has just come back or whatever. Mm-hmm. I like that she brought back that PCO finisher. That finisher is pretty cool.
That was a good finisher.
But man, listen, you have this women's roster. You have a stacked women's roster. Okay, where's Serena Deeb?
Where's Sheeta?
Where's Willow Nightingale?
Willow was coming out.
Where are all these women?
But why?
Where's Riho? Where's fucking, where are my girls? Where's Abaddon? Where's Sheeta?
Yeah, where are they?
Like, you have all these women back there, and every week you continue to trot out Saraya and Toni Storm, which you're not going to see me complaining about Toni Storm being on my TV. But dude, this whole fake NWO shit they got going on where they're spray painting people, that shit is not working. Saraya as a heel is not working. You're not scary. No one's scared of you. Like, I don't understand why you think people are afraid of you. You're fucking pasty white skin. No one cares. Like, she was fine. This is where I get pissed off with Tony Khan because, like, again, I'm not a booker, but you should have brought her in. And you should have been like, Tony Khan brought me here to reel in this women's division. You guys are all out of control. I'm here to bring my experience and whatever to this women's division. And then you could have had her do that, come out on TV, still do your stupid little entrance. You still get some TV time. But while you're doing that, you could be in the gym, bulking back up, getting ring ready in the background for a pay per view or for whatever. And then you
Right.
can build a story over a few weeks or even a few months where Britt Baker's like, fuck out of here. This is my show. I don't give a fuck about your authority. I
Right.
don't care about your whatever, your blah, blah, blah. And that eventually leads to a match at a pay per view. And then
Exactly.
it's like, oh, Soraya's coming out of retirement, and she would have had already like a month or two or three where she was getting ready to have this big match, and then you'd be
Exactly.
going in there with Britt Baker, who's probably the best dance partner you're gonna have coming back for your first match. Why didn't you just do something like that instead of bringing her back immediately, throwing her in the ring, and then turning her heel out of nowhere? Like it's just
It
it's
was a bad
chaotic.
move.
It's
Yeah, it was a
chaotic,
bad move. It came out of nowhere, and it
and
didn't.
it's
It's not
taking
working.
over all of your TV. Like you just these aren't the only women on your roster, bro. Like
Yeah, and it's not working. In my opinion, it's not working.
I'm not a
But
fan.
yeah, I'm not looking forward to the pay-per-view match. I'm hoping they have more than one female
Oh,
match.
that's what I wanted to say. Let me tell you something. If they put the belt on her at this show, I'm not watching. I'm not gonna watch. You're gonna have to find a new top rope squishy heavyweight champion. Because I'm not watching this fucking show. If you take the belt off of Jamie Hayter and you put it on because they introduced this whole thing with Ruby Riott, right? So
Yeah.
now they're gonna have a three-way. So guess what's
Yeah.
gonna happen? Soraya is going to pin Ruby Riott and win the belt. She's not gonna pin Jamie Hayter. And that's the bullshit little story that they're gonna run with because they're gonna have a three-way match. So anybody can get pinned, and whoever gets pinned and gets the 3 count is a champion, right? So that's what they'll do.
What
They'll
if
have
Ruby
fucking
takes it?
Soraya pin Ruby, and Ruby takes the fall, and Soraya takes the belt, and she doesn't pin Jamie Hayter.
What
If
if
they
Ruby?
do that, if they beat Jamie Hayter, I'm not fucking watching the show anymore. I'm not gonna do it. You're
Jamie
not.
Hayter should not be dethroned. Period. It
You
shouldn't be.
cannot
She
take the
shouldn't be
belt off of her.
dethroned.
Not yet.
Yeah, they can't dethrone her
Nope.
with Sriracha. They can't dethrone her with Ruby. Give me a break. Those two ladies are kind of sloppy in the ring. I'm not looking forward to that at all. So I will be very disappointed. I won't stop watching AEW, but I would definitely be utterly
I'm not
disappointed
gonna do it.
like
You're
that.
not gonna have me out here seeing her come out with that. Nah, bro. Nah, nah, nah.
I will get you
I'm
back
not
on
ready
the
for that
show.
shit, bro.
I'll get you back on the show when Sriracha don't got the belt no more.
Yeah, let me know when she loses that shit, because that shit's whack
well,
as fuck, bro. Like
you are gonna be on my show for the Revolution the Thursday after,
true.
so you're gonna have to talk about it,
I
and then you don't got to
okay,
talk about it no more if you don't want to.
right,
But
true. That'll be my
um,
farewell show.
yeah, the farewell show. Don't even say that. Um, Brian Danielson came out, but MJF interrupted him, and the only thing that I heard from that promo was that MJF is single again.
Yeah, there seems to be some confusion, like because we know he just got engaged, and now he's
Yeah,
sitting here talking about
that he's single.
she left him, and he wanted all these things and kids and a family, and she left. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people were running with that on Twitter last night. It's like, yo, did she actually left him? Oh my god! And
Yeah, and I mean, I was looking at Fightful Select, and yes, you have to take the information you get from certain uh, wrestling groups with a grain of salt, but sometimes they do have the right information. And Sean came out and said there was some truth to the rumors, and the one about his relationship was true.
wow,
And so I was like, I'm like, well, they just got engaged like a couple months ago, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. What happened?
mm-hmm.
And so now I'm starting to think, is he really an ass? Like, is he really an
He seems to
asshole?
play one on TV. So
Yeah, he plays one on TV and you can never find him out of character. Now I'm starting to
right,
think, is this his character? Like, is he really this way?
you
Can
imagine
someone,
having to deal with that 24 hours a day?
that's what I'm
Shit.
saying. Can you imagine being with a narcissistic asshole like that? I couldn't. But that was that. They actually had a fight. So they went at it in the ring, getting us ready for their Revolution 1 hour Iron Man match, which will be the main event at Revolution.
Yeah,
So that's gonna be good.
very
Looking
cool.
forward to that. We spoke about the three-way, the battle royale. That was a fucking mess. I am not a fan of battle royales that start with everybody in the fucking
Yeah,
ring.
it sucks.
Chaotic. You don't
It
know where to
sucks.
look. I was looking everywhere at once. And then as they started throwing out the people that I thought would be the right decisions for moving on, when I saw the last three people in the ring, which was Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Trent, I was like, no fucking way. No fucking way. No, Trent's going to get them all out. Trent's going to get them both out. And he didn't.
Why
So,
would you, Tony Khan? Why would you fly Aussie Open out to do this bullshit battle royal?
do you see that?
Yeah,
Aussie Open should have taken it.
yeah.
My
Why do
chicken
you
scratch, but
fly them out to have them get thrown out? I didn't even see them get thrown out.
thank you. I missed it too. I was looking and I'm like, where's Aussie Open? Like, where'd they go?
First of all, I didn't even know they were there. I was like looking at this mess, this soup of wrestlers, and I'm just like, okay, I see this guy, I see this guy. I'm like, wait, who's that dude? And then like they're like, oh, Aussie Open's here. I'm like, wow, bro, for
I
real?
thought it was gonna be them.
So listen, it just
It's a bad
again,
decision.
I like battle royals, like Royal Rumble and stuff like that, but I hate when they just like, all right, everybody, get in there and
Yeah.
kick each
Start all
other's
at once.
asses. It's just it's messy. It's just a big mess. It's everybody punching each other for 5 minutes and then people just start flying over the ring.
We're getting another
Yeah.
one next week, but it's a casino battle royale. So people are gonna be coming out for this. Which I prefer because then you at least get to see who the fuck is coming to be in the ring. I can't tell you half of the people that were in there because it just looked like a jumbled mess. You have like 30 guys in the ring together at once. Where the fuck are you supposed to look? So
The only way they salvage this angle is if FTR are the Jokers. Other than that, I really don't know what I mean. This is really Jeff Jarrett and fucking Jay Lethal, and I love Jay Lethal, but this Jeff Jarrett thing, come on, man.
It's not working. For me,
Fan.
it's overdone. What are you gonna do? You can't. They're not gonna get the belts, so that's a waste of a space from me. So you got the Acclaimed, you have the Gun Club, now you have the Firm with Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, and like you said, whoever comes in that fourth spot has to make sense because the Firm didn't make sense to me. So
yeah, if it's not FTR, I don't know what you do because you already had all the tag teams there and they were all losers. They all got thrown out. So what are you gonna do? Have them all come back again? No, it has to be FTR. You gotta have FTR.
Aussie Open, when I saw they were gone, I was like, then it has to be Top Flight. When I saw they were gone, I was like, oh, they're gonna put the Lucha Bros back in.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that it was just Trent in there with them, I was like, Trent always loses. This is crazy. So
yeah. And even if they would have won, it's like, okay, so you're gonna throw best friends in there? Like that don't really move me either. You know what I mean? Like
at this point, yeah, they're not hot like they were 2 years ago. So that's anyway. And this brings us to the main event, which I can't talk too much about because I have yet to really see it. Like I saw in bits and pieces. So I'm gonna let you talk about it because I think you did see it. The only comment I am gonna make is that it's the first time I've seen Evo Uno without a shirt. Disco Inferno is a jerk because he was like, ain't no man with tits should be wrestling a main event. Yeah, he's an asshole. He's an asshole. Disco Inferno, that dried up guy. Anyway, and he had a new mask on and he bled like
that man was leaking.
So tell people about that mask.
Moxley threw him into the stairs head first. And I don't know if he bladed wrong or he really got busted or whatever. I'm assuming he just kind of bladed wrong because I would imagine it's kind of hard to blade through that eye piece of your mask and you got to do it quickly. So he probably just kind of went too deep.
Not like Moxley right on camera.
Yeah,
you got me on camera.
Listen, man, I'm all for blood in wrestling, like because it tells blood in wrestling tells it's supposed to like you're not supposed to be bleeding every week, bro. Like I get that at this point it's a meme with John Moxley that he's gonna bleed, but it's like when you have a feud with two people who like really fucking hate each other, your match where you blow that shit off, it's like supposed to be like the blood feud, and that's the match where you would, these two fucking guys hate each other so much that they're bleeding. Like they just fucking beat each other to such a
Oh.
point where they're bleeding. You know what I mean? Or one of them bleeds. They don't have to both bleed, but you know what I
Mhm.
mean? That's where you do that.
I'm
You don't
desensitized.
every week on your show have people just bleeding all over the place because then it doesn't mean anything. It's just like
Exactly.
it's even funny. Like last night, Moxley didn't bleed the whole match. I'm like, oh wow, he
For
broke the
that,
streak. He broke it, and then right at the end of the show, literally at 9:59,
he bled.
he starts bleeding. I'm like, you motherfucker, man,
He's like,
you
"You think I'm
motherfucker.
not gonna bleed? I'm definitely." Can you imagine how many nicks like he
Yeah,
has on his head from all the cuts?
yeah, bro. Like it's terrible. Like Abdullah the Butcher was a wrestler from back in the day, and even someone a little more recent, Devon Dudley.
Okay.
When you look at his forehead, he has literally like a knot on his head that's like it looks like a bear slashed him on the top of his head because of so many times that he's bladed there. He literally has a knot there that's fully formed, that's scarred up from the blading that he's
From
done
all the
over the
cutting.
years. So it's not the most attractive thing in the world, but
It is
pro
what it is.
wrestlers are of a certain ilk. They're very hardcore and they tend to do that. But I thought this match was good for what it was. Obviously Evil Uno wasn't going to beat John Moxley. You know what I mean? But
So
he had
yeah,
a really good showing.
yeah,
My only thing is, again, I know it's John Moxley. I know that he's like superhuman, but
yeah.
god damn it, you took two pile
Pile
drivers in a
drivers.
row.
I thought of you when I saw
Two in
that,
a row.
and he
He kicked out right at two.
yeah,
Like
he
with
kicked out.
power.
Yeah,
With power, he kicked out. Like if he would have got a shoulder up, like a weak shoulder up, I would have been like, at least okay, fuck. But he's like, no, fuck that. No,
he's like, pile
no.
driver didn't do shit to me.
Like, listen, bro, that's a damn pile driver. That is a
Killer.
devastating move. That's a move that's banned in WWE. It's banned for a reason
They don't do it
because
in
that shit
WWE.
can go wrong. No, it's banned. They have a whole banned moves list over there. I don't know if you know that.
How do you kick out of a pile driver? Because the pile driver essentially what it's supposed to do is clonk your head
Yeah,
straight down
to the
with
mat.
all your body force on it. Now
Yeah,
clearly they are technical, so they move their head down
yeah.
and the wrestlers squeeze their legs together. So you're not really you're landing on the legs. They do it very well. So a lot of times you can't tell. And sometimes they do kind of hit some of their head. It's a
hmm
dangerous move. Nobody should be kicking out of a pile driver. I agree with
Owen
that.
Hart broke Steve Austin's neck doing a pile driver. That move. That's why that move is banned over there. So when you see that done, that's another one of those things where that's a move that you should only see that like after guys have been feuding to a point where they're just so sick of each other and they're
Yeah.
having that
Kill
one last match where it's like, motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you
you.
because I'm sick of you. And
Pile
I'm gonna
driver.
do everything possible. So you're getting hit with pile drivers. I'm gonna make you bleed, and this is gonna be it. That's where you do that stuff.
Yeah. And
You
let me
don't
tell you
pile
something.
driver someone twice on a weekly television program in a match that really doesn't mean anything. Really, like
Yes.
it's
It's
just
become a regular finisher in AEW. Um, Terrell says no one should be kicking out of a pile driver or Canadian destroyer.
absolutely,
Canadian destroyers is legit my favorite wrestling move. And my second favorite wrestling move is a brutal looking move, but a lot of wrestlers do it so nicely, and it's the brain buster. I love
yeah,
brain busters. There are some people that get it out so beautifully that the people when they're coming down, they literally look like they're crumbling. And
yeah,
Jamie Hayter
yeah.
has a beautiful brain buster.
One of the best, well, probably the best brain buster I've ever seen was on Dynamite.
Who?
Was Will Ospreay. He brain
Yes!
busted. He did a
Yes!
fucking avalanche brain buster, which I freaked out because I'd never seen that. I've never seen somebody take a brain buster from the top rope. You know how dangerous that is,
Ah,
bro?
Will
That shit
Ospreay.
looked,
I love
I
Will
saw
Ospreay.
it and I popped. I was like, couldn't fucking believe that I saw that shit. And that
I
was like
love
probably one of my favorites ever.
Yeah, I love Will Ospreay. You're very, very correct. He has a sick fucking brain buster. Not, he did that off the ropes, but when he just does a normal one, it's just so
Yeah.
beautiful. There's just some people that are so skilled with executing moves. And if you
Tully,
guys have not seen Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay,
man, go back and watch that, please. That was the match of the year last year. Tully Blanchard actually was the brainbuster. He used to do some fucking serious brainbusters back in
Oh
his
yeah.
day. Yeah, old Tully.
Oh, Tully's no longer
But
in
yeah, this
AEW.
match, it was a good match. It was a John Moxley match, and then at the end, you had Cowboy run up. Everybody
Yeah,
came up and ran into the ring. They had their,
they're
face
yeah,
off and shit. So they're building this
yeah,
Texas death match between Moxley and Hangman. So
for Revolution.
it was a good match. I'm not gonna sit here and say it was a bad match. I just don't understand all the, Uno bleeding was, whether it was an accident or he bladed too deep or whatever. That's one
That's
thing,
like
but
that's like
Moxley
Ruby
bleeding
Soho.
right at the end was just like, come on,
He
bro.
was like, Lou, you said I wasn't gonna bleed. There you go.
Yeah, it's like he was like,
Ruby
oh shit, it's fucking 9:59. Do the thing.
can
Then
do
he
the
just rolls
thing.
out of the ring, and then he rolls out. I knew it too. Hangman hit him with that shit, and he rolls out the ring, and I knew. I looked at the clock. I was like, "It's 9:59, bro. If they show this guy bleeding in the next 10 seconds, I swear to God." And when the next thing you see is Moxley bleeding on the outside, I was like, "Son of a bitch."
That is so funny. That's so funny. Ruby Soho in that lights out match that she had when
Oh
she came out the garbage can, she went
yeah,
too deep.
yeah.
She went too deep.
She was a bloody mess, man.
Yeah, she went too deep. But that was the show. So, I'm guessing next week in Rampage and Dynamite and then Rampage are all going to keep building up to Revolution. So, make sure y'all watch it if y'all planning to watch Revolution. So, when you see Revolution, it all makes sense.
Right, for real.
But as you know, it is time for the hot seat. Now, I don't know how hot it is for you anymore because you've done this so much. You're kind of like a vet. So, I
Man,
don't think
shit.
none of these
Cannot
questions,
phase me.
nothing phases you
Can't
anymore.
phase me
So,
no more. You
we're
already
going to
asked me
have,
the illest questions ever.
oh, I got some questions for you. It's going to be 2 questions plus a bonus. So,
Mm,
like, this is what I've been doing lately.
okay.
So, here we go. You ready?
I'm ready. Always.
Okay. Well, here we go. So, would you rather be rich but surrounded by enemies and people who hate you, or be poor but be surrounded by loving and caring people?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the second one. I can't be. Yeah, you could be rich and surrounded by people who hate you, but eventually, those people are gonna plot up together to take your
To get your money
riches.
and kill
But
you.
if you're broke, I'm already broke and surrounded by people who, what I'm saying. I'd rather have people who love me and gonna like accept me and take care of me and shit,
Right.
not use me,
Because
than
you're not, yeah.
be waiting for people to come for my downfall. That's a terrible life. Can you imagine you're rich and you just
Yeah.
know you got to be
Um,
watching your back 24/7 because eventually they can come for your shit?
yeah. And
I
you
can be
not,
me.
oh shit. Terrell said he gonna be rich and surrounded by enemies. I don't want to live like that. That's not a peaceful life.
Man, hell no.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
no way. Okay, ready for number 2?
Absolutely.
Would you rather take a bat to the knees or have a car run over your foot?
Ooh. You know what's funny about that car running over the foot thing? That's like not a phobia because that's a dumb thing to say, but I've seen like I always think about, I don't know if you've ever seen Sopranos. There's a scene
Oh,
where Blundetto, Steve Buscemi's character, he goes to kill he goes to kill a guy, and the dude runs his foot over, and it just looks so, the way he screamed, because Steve Buscemi has that face, the way his foot gets run over, I think about that all the time when I think about that kind of shit. So I don't want my foot getting run over. Oh man, your knee or your foot? Because if you get hit with a knee, if you get hit in the knee with a bat, that's major reconstructive surgery on your knee, bro. If they run over your foot,
yeah.
that's gonna be also, your foot might get pulverized, like your bones might get like powdered. So I don't know how you recover from that shit. So
So
I think I might have to take the knee. I think
the
I might
bat.
have to take the bat to the knee, and they can reconstruct my leg with a Stone Cold Steve Austin knee brace on there, and I
Yes.
might be able to walk. But
Then you'll be cool.
I don't know how you can. I don't know how a car runs over your foot, and
It can run over your foot.
they fix no. But how do they fix that? Like, wouldn't your
Oh,
toes like open up and like
ugh.
all that? Like, you know what I mean? That's
Ugh,
Yeah, bro. That's
nasty. I
how do
didn't
they
even think
fix
about it
that?
that deep.
Oh, oh my
No neck
god,
bone
no.
tone told Terrell. JFK got assassinated, bro. Great choice. That's to this comment where he said, "Be rich and surrounded by enemies like JFK." So that was the
Oh
response for him.
yeah.
And he
JFK
said,
got his wig pushed back in a moving vehicle, bro, with a
"Yeah,
magic
bro.
bullet. By the way, it
Yeah,
was a
magic
magic
bullet.
alien bullet for all you conspiracy theorists who don't know that. It was a
Indeed,
magic alien bullet that came down from the skies.
sure was."
It was a bullet from Hogwarts University.
They sent it all the way from Hogwarts. All right, here's my bonus question. It's a little deep, so pay attention. Ready?
Absolutely.
If you knew you only had 3 days left to live,
Mm.
what are the top three things you would want to do before the end?
Um, I guess if I only have 3 days, first of all, I wouldn't tell anybody. I wouldn't tell anybody, and I would try to spend, as much time with my mom as I could. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
So
other than
sweet.
that, I would probably spend most of the rest of my time like on a beach, maybe just sitting on the sun, watch the sunrise, watch the sun go down, and yeah, I think that's really it. Because I mean, you got 3 days, bro. I'm not gonna be like, yo, I gotta go to Japan, and
Yeah, you're
first of
not
all,
gonna
you
make
only got 3 days. It takes 21 hours to get to these
it.
places. Like you
Yeah,
wasting your time, bro. You're
yeah, on
wasting
a
your time.
plane.
So try to spend as much time, saying personal goodbye to the people I care about the most, and then um, that's crazy. You hope to lose your virginity. Yo, can you
I
put
was
that up
gonna
there,
put it
please?
on the thing, and then I was like, I don't
That's
know. Terrell,
yo,
you spilling too many beans, bro.
Terrell is wilding. He's spilling all the tea tonight. Um,
Yo,
yeah, that's it. Spend time on the beach. Spend time with loved ones. That's
that's
how I spend my
beautiful.
time.
I like that. I
That's
like
what I
that. I
do.
like those responses.
Most
That's probably
importantly is
what I
to
do.
not tell anyone what's going on, because then you're gonna have, oh my god, what are
Yeah,
you?
you're
Nah,
never gonna
bro. I
enjoy. You're
don't.
not gonna enjoy those 3 days. It's
I
hard
don't need
enough
that, bro.
knowing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I don't
hard
need
enough
that, bro.
knowing. I
You know
agree.
what I mean?
I agree. I agree. So we're coming to the end of the show.
Yeah.
Before you guys leave, if you haven't already, please
He
make
said, I hope
sure
to
to
lose my
hit that
virginity.
like. If you're not subscribed, um,
Oh my god.
subscribe, Kyle. I'll see you soon. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Subscribe and please, the links are in the description for Lou's podcast. So there's two. It's Wrestling is Trash, right?
Absolutely.
And the Everything
And the
podcast.
Everything Podcast.
Okay, links in the description. And also, I added a new little part to the description for anybody who's dealing with any mental problems and depression and anxiety. I've always been very open about what I'm dealing with. Um, if you feel alone, if you don't know who to call, and you're feeling a little suicidal or whatever the case may be, dial 988. It's in the description. The link is in there as well for their website. You can chat if you don't feel like talking to somebody on the phone. But the point is, reach out to someone. No matter how alone you feel, you're not alone. But
Yeah, and
anyhow,
this goes. I don't want to speak for you. I'll speak for myself. If you ever feel that way, and you're on Twitter or something or anything like that, and you see my name and you feel like you can't talk to anybody, you can talk to me. So you can hit my DMs. My DMs are open. You can hit me on Instagram. I'll give you my number, whatever, and we can talk, because
yeah, that's a tough one.
I've gone through it. Squishy's gone through it. We're not experts or anything like that. I'm no physician, but
Right.
if you feel like you can't talk to anybody, come talk to me.
Right. We're
We'll
here.
talk some stuff.
So
We'll laugh. We'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out. Life's too short, y'all. All right. Well, everyone, that was the show. Lou, thanks again for being on. I have a fucking headache.
Absolutely.
So I'm wearing my computer glasses. So I'm gonna go and drink a pill. But
Nice.
thank you all. As always, I had such a great time, Lou. People, have a good night. Stay safe. Peace, love, and wrestling. Bye, y'all.
See ya.
See ya.